In the early days of Christianity, when the faith was still spreading through the Roman world, one woman's story stood out as a symbol of courage, defiance, and unwavering faith. Her name was Thecla. Mentored by the Apostle Paul, she faced death multiple times and became a legend in early Christian history. But how much of her story is real, and what does it reveal about the role of women in early Christianity? Thecla was a young woman from a noble family in Iconium, engaged to be married to a wealthy man. Her life was set on a conventional path, but everything changed when Paul arrived in her city. Preaching about Christ's message of salvation, Paul's words deeply resonated with Thecla. She listened intently from the window of her home, captivated by his teachings about faith, chastity, and devotion to God. Legend has it that Thecla stayed by the window for days without eating or drinking, completely absorbed in Paul's message. Inspired by Paul's teachings, Thecla made a radical decision. She broke off her engagement and declared her intention to remain celibate in devotion to God. Her family was outraged, particularly her mother, who accused her of dishonoring their household. To make matters worse, Thecla's fiancé sought revenge and had Paul arrested for corrupting her mind. In the patriarchal society of the Roman Empire, a woman's decision to reject marriage was seen as an act of rebellion. Thecla's choice was considered dangerous and subversive. Paul was brought before the authorities, accused of spreading a dangerous new religion. Thecla, refusing to abandon her mentor, secretly followed him to the trial. When her presence was discovered, she was arrested and sentenced to death by burning at the stake. But as the flames were lit, something miraculous happened. The fire did not harm her. According to legend, a sudden rainstorm extinguished the flames, saving her life. This event is one of many miraculous escapes attributed to Thecla, leading early Christians to believe she was divinely protected. After surviving the fire, Thecla continued her journey of faith, but her trials were far from over. She was captured again and sentenced to face wild beasts in a public arena, a common form of execution for criminals and enemies of the state. As the crowd watched, lions and other beasts were released, but once again, Thecla's faith seemed to shield her. The animals, instead of attacking, became docile, further convincing witnesses of her divine protection. In some versions of the story, a lioness is said to have protected Thecla, standing guard over her until the danger passed. After surviving multiple attempts on her life, Thecla dedicated herself to spreading the teachings of Christ. She traveled, preached, and inspired countless early Christians, eventually becoming a symbol of faith and perseverance. Her story was so influential that she was venerated as a saint, with churches and shrines built in her honor. Thecla's story is preserved in the Acts of Paul and Thecla, an apocryphal text that, although not included in the canonical Bible, was widely read by early Christian communities. While Thecla's story is legendary, historians and theologians continue to debate its authenticity. Was she a real historical figure, or did her story emerge as a symbol of female empowerment in early Christianity? Regardless of the answer, her influence on Christian thought and the role of women in religious leadership is undeniable. Some scholars believe that Thecla's story reflects the struggles of early Christian women who sought greater roles in a male-dominated religious environment. Thecla's story is one of faith, courage, and defiance. Whether seen as fact or legend, she represents the transformative power of belief and the role of women in spreading Christianity. Her legacy lives on in churches, stories, and the hearts of believers around the world. What do you think? Was Thecla divinely protected, or is her story a powerful symbol of resistance? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you in another journey through the story.